Hello everybody, my name is Chris. I'm the IoT software manager of Wifx, and today I'm going to show you how to connect your LORIX One to the Sync stack. We will start with a quick overview of the LORIX One and its software, the LORIX OS. Then we will do a demonstration of how to connect the LORIX One to the Sync stack through the LORIX web interface. To do so, we will use the basic station and the Sync network. The LORIX One is a compact and robust LoRa gateway made for indoor and outdoor use. It is quick and easy to deploy. You can both power and connect it through a single power over Ethernet cable. You can also now order some extra wall and mast mounts. It is available worldwide in two versions, 868 and 915 MHz. You can find the full product specification on our website lorixone.io. The LORIX One runs the LORIX OS, a Linux-based operating system that is installed by default since 2020. You can also upgrade any existing LORIX One to the LORIX OS following the procedure described in our online documentation. With this OS, the LORIX One provides an intuitive web interface you can use to configure the gateway. It will allow you to configure networking and VPN, the LoRa concentrator and packet forwarding using one of the included packet forwarder, and you can update the system in a secure and reliable way to get new features and security updates. The system is totally open, so you can still connect through SSH to deploy your application or automate actions through the HTTP API. If you have special needs, you can build your own flavor of LORIX OS using the Yocto build system. You can find more information about LORIX OS on our online documentation, iot.wifx.net/docs. So now let's connect that gateway to the Sync stack. So I'm going to use a LORIX One, and as the Sync stack, I'm going to use the instance from the Sync network. But the procedure is actually exactly the same if you use the Sync Industries or your own instance of the Sync stack. So we're going to connect to the LORIX gateway. So here I'm using the DNS name that is broadcasted through the network. To get details on this, on how to connect to your gateway, please also check the documentation. But basically, you connect it to your network, it will get a DHCP lease automatically, and it will broadcast its name like presented here. Those last numbers here are the serial number that the last part of the serial number that is printed on the back of the gateway. So if we connect to it, we get directly the login page of the LORIX manager, that is this web interface that will allow us to configure the gateway. So the default credentials are admin and LORIX 4U, the 4 like a number. This is also all available in the documentation. So now let's log in, and we land on the dashboard page. So here, as we see, for now, it has not yet been configured. So we're going to first go to the LoRa settings here. So you can set the region that will be used for the available frequency plans. But even with the basic station, you get the frequency plan from the server, so it's not mandatory. Here, I'm going to say that it's a Europe version. And you have to configure your antenna so the power table can be set up. So in my case, I'm going to use a small 2 dBi antenna. So let's configure that. And now we can go to the forwarder page. And here at the beginning, you have no forwarder configured. So in our case, we are going to use the basic station to connect to the Sync stack. Okay, now that this is done, we can go to the Sync stack console. So as I said, in our case, we are going to use the Sync network. So we're going to register this gateway, give it a unique ID. Little typo here. As the gateway EUI, we are going to use the serial number of the gateway that is written down here. So we can just copy the serial number, paste it here, give it a nice name. Okay, the server address here will be untouched. And we are going to enable authentication so that the connection will be secured, and we will be able to guarantee that it is the correct gateway that is connected. Here, let's select the frequency plan and add that gateway. Okay, now that our gateway is registered, we can already start to configure the basic station here. So we have both possibilities of using the CUP server or the LNS server. So for now, we're going to go with the simple setup with just the LoRa network server. So we enable this part of the configuration, and here we get the server address directly from the console dashboard. And put that here. The port is 8887, and we can already save that. But still, this is not going to work yet because we've enabled a secured connection. This feature of secured connection is very nice now in ZSync Stack because it gives you two huge advantages. The first is that you can authenticate the server to be sure that the server is not impersonated and that you connect to the correct server. This will also encrypt connection, so anything that is transferred through the network is directly encrypted. And the second part is that the server will authenticate the client, so ensuring that it is the correct gateway that connects to this gateway setup in the Things network. So here we enable this secure connection, and for the server authentication, we have two possibilities here. Either we use the local root certificates. So this is very nice if you have a cloud server, as the server will present a certificate, for example, a Let's Encrypt certificate that is globally trusted. So if you use the root certificate of the gateway, you will not have to care about renewing this certificate. It will be directly done through the system update. So if you have this possibility, it's very nice because you just check that and then you don't care anymore. If you are using an on-premise deployment of the Sync Stack on your own server, maybe we will not have a globally trusted certificate, but a certificate from your own organization. In that case, you can upload directly here the certificate of that is used by your server, and so that you ensure the server is authenticated. So here for the Sync network, we are going to use the local root certificate. And then we specified into the server configurations, into the gateway configuration in the Sync network that we wanted to require the client authentication too. So we're going to enable that, and for that we are going to use a token that will generate from the Sync network here. So let's do that token. This token is actually generated here in the API keys. So I'm going to give it a name. It's the basic station LNS token. And I'm going to grant it the right to link as a gateway. So at this time, copy that key directly because it will not be available anymore later. So I've copied that key. And here you can set that here as the authentication token. And so that's it. So now I've saved this configuration and we can start the basic station. I'll directly show here the log of the startup of the basic station, so we can see a little bit what is happening behind the scene. So let's start it, and we're going to see it will be very quick. So it has connected, it had received all the configuration regarding the frequency plan, and now we have the confirmation that the basic station is running. And we see here in the Sync network in the console that the gateway has now been connected. So that's it already. So now to validate that connection, I am going to use a small LoRa network mapper. So this is a LoRa end node. It has already been registered into an application here. And what we're going to do with that is a join request. We'll therefore receive the join accept. And we will see that those packets that are sent are shown here by this packet log. And we also get it here in the live data log. So let's send that join request. So here we see directly that join request has been received and directly transmitted. Here the response received and the device has joined. So here we get also that downlink. So that's it. As you see, it's quite easy to connect the LORIX One to the Things stack actually. If you need more details about this setup, you can find more information on our online documentation on iot.wifx.net/docs. And here on the LORIX OS guide, in the user guide, you'll find all the information about those different setups. If you want to connect it to the Things network using the basic station, you have here a full guide that actually describes anything that we said during this talk. Also, if you have some trouble with anything and you don't find any references on it, do not hesitate to contact us at support@iot.wifx.net. We'll be glad to help you. So I hope you enjoyed this talk, and I wish you a great time with your new setup. Bye.